The last piece of the unit circle then is the last two ordered pairs right here. X values are cosine, Y values are sine. The additional piece that we want to add then, our tangent values are going to be Y divided by X. So if I look at my unit circle right here at 30 degrees, the X value is the cosine. So the cosine of 30 degrees is going to be square root of 3 over 2. Y's are the sine values. The sine of 30 degrees is 1/2. So the last piece that we want to do for the unit circle is we want to put all the tangent values around, and we get that by taking Y divided by X. So starting over here, Y divided by X for 0 degrees or 360 degrees. Sine we know is 0, cosine we know is 1, and tangent is going to be Y divided by X. So 0 divided by 1, so my tangent is going to be 0. For 30 degrees, I'm going to take Y divided by X, 1/2 divided by square root of 3 over 2. That ends up being square root of 3 over 3. Here, we take square root of 2 over 2 divided by square root of 2 over 2, which is 1. And then finally up here, square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2 is square root of 3. And then at 90 degrees, 1 divided by 0 is undefined. So these values outside represent tangent values. Continue heading around the unit circle. We can reflect our tangent values as well, realizing though that here I've got negative x's. So when I take y divided by a negative x, I'm going to end up with a negative tangent value. So the square root of 3 ends up being a negative square root of 3. This 1 ends up being a negative 1. And this square root of 3 ends up being a negative square root of 3 over 3. When I go down to the third quadrant, both x and y are negative. Two negatives, when you divide them, make a positive. So my tangents end up being positive. So once again, I can go y divided by x, or I can just reflect my quadrant 2 down. So square root of 3 over 3, 1, and then square root of 3. And then finally my fourth quadrant, I'm going to have negative tangents once again because I've got a negative y divided by a positive x. So negative square root of 3, negative 1, and negative square root of 3. So there's how you generate the complete unit circle. If you're the type of person that likes seeing a little bit of color, here's what a colored inversion looks like. Here I've got my 90-degree angles in yellow. I've got my 45-degree angles in pink, and then all the others are factors of 30. 30, 60, 120, 150 are the ones in blue. Realistically, once you've got the first quadrant memorized and down cold, in your head you can then start reflecting the different angles. So for example, if I were to ask you what is the tangent of 3 pi over 4, if you know that the pi over 4 reflects over to the second quadrant, and you know that tangent is negative in the second quadrant, you know negative 1. So it's one of those things where it's going to take some time to get down and practice. And if I were you, I would definitely write out this unit circle a couple of times, but definitely have the first quadrant memorized, including the angles that we have right here, our 90 and our 0 degrees. And then you should be able to figure out the rest of the unit circle by reflecting.